This episode of the Golf Guru Show is brought to you by Enveedhemp.com. As golfers, you know the game creates wear and tear on your body and mind. Enveed CBD products can organically rejuvenate you. They come in 3 varieties: Relief, Clarity, and Relax. Relief CBD products help relieve pain. Clarity allows you to focus on those critical shots. And Relax CBD products are for those anxious golf moments. Right now, I've got an incredible special for you. Go to Enveedhemp.com and use the promo code GURU20 for a 20% discount for life.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
You know how to cut to the core of me, Baxter. You're so wise. You're like a miniature Buddha covered in hair.
I want to become a guru so girls will like me. Then I will like myself.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules. Rule number 1, no touching of the hair or face.
Of course.
And that's it! Now let's do this!
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Golf Guru Show. I am Jason Sutton, and I am the Guru, where it is my mission to interview the top golf instruction minds in the business, break them down, and get them to share all of their stories, best practices, and information that has made them great and successful, and then ultimately share it with all of you so we can both get better at this teaching and coaching business. Today we continue with our open forum PGA show sidebar chats with Eric Cogorno. Eric has been recently on the show, so if you want to look back and listen to his first interview, it's episode 83. Which was the last one we did before the show. So cool to get him back on real quick and talk a little bit about his travels. We also dig in a little deeper down the self-development rabbit hole, which was fun. So I'm not going to give you a bio. I'm just going to tell you that this is one of my favorite interviews, once again, with someone that I consider a friend now and reminds me a little bit of myself at age 30. So again, I apologize for the background noise, but again, getting the vibe of open forum, which is another huge success. Shout out to Chris, Michael, and Nick. So enjoy this really cool little impromptu interview with Eric Cogorno. All right, Eric, welcome back, man. It's hasn't been too long.
Yeah, long
Introduce
time.
yourself and tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah.
We're at Open Forum, so we can kind of talk a little bit about that in the PGA show, but what's up?
Yeah, open forum. A lot of people here, a lot of energy, a lot of golf teaching energy. People that I haven't seen in quite a while, which is always cool and interesting. Yeah, been traveling, man. Been traveling around trying to see some new spots.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll leave the Orlando weather and that alone for the time. Just came from South Florida.
Yeah,
so
it's cold right now for this part of the country.
Dude, 55 degrees out today at demo day was rough. After like 80 and sunny literally every single day.
And windy, so it made it even cooler, right?
Yeah, but it's cool, man. I'm looking forward to hopping in there and hearing some of the coaches. I'll always pick up some good nuggets when I'm in there. You know, some little stuff that I can take.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good to have a little FaceTime with you here.
Yeah, right. We just did it remote, and now we're live, and sitting in here in Radio Row.
Yeah.
Just kicking it. So what's up? What do you want to talk about before I get to my rapid fire questions?
Are you going to be at the show the next 2 days?
Yeah.
Do you have any things you're looking forward to in terms of seeing?
That's a great question. I mean, usually after day one, you kind of start hearing the buzz of like something new. Like I haven't heard that yet, and obviously it's early.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm looking at technology. I mean, not that I have any budget this year to buy anything, but I'm still kind of have my ear open. K-Vest, which is right across the aisle here, I think has got a couple good upgrades, and that's something that I would definitely want to have. I just, again, don't have the money.
Yeah.
Capto is always, I think, getting better. It's a new putting software.
Yeah.
But we'll just kind of see, something that jumps out. I've got, a couple speaking engagements in the next couple of days too, so I'll be kind of busy with meetings and doing that. So it's kind of,
busy man.
It's catching up with friends and coworkers that you haven't seen in a long time is really what I'm after. I mean, I think the networking part is really, something you can't put a price on.
100%. Hit me with the rapid fire, man.
Here we go. So, favorite drill for a path that's too far left?
Alignment rod about a couple feet in front of him, angled up like 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's good to swing under it.
Yep.
Yeah. Favorite drill for a path that goes too far to the right? And out guy.
The opposite of what I just said. Dude, I love the plain sticks with a little noodle over them.
Yeah.
It's a drill that's hard to mess up, is why I like it.
All right, best drill for improving low point.
Object behind the ball would be a simple one. Me physically shoving the person forward towards the target in some way, shape, or form. To me, I know this is rapid fire, but if someone has a low point issue, I'm usually looking at where the mass of their body is. A, B, body rotations, and then C, wrist angles.
Yeah.
In no particular order. So something that I could combine the most of them. An object behind the ball, maybe to start with.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, something simple.
I think we may have talked about this on the other show, but what would you be doing, or what job do you think you'd be doing if you weren't teaching golf?
That's a good one.
Couldn't remember if I asked you that.
Yeah, I definitely think I will do personal development beyond golf, but if I didn't do the golf, maybe I wouldn't get there. I wanted to be a sports agent, so I'll say that, even though it feels like a shitty answer. Sports agent, I guess.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird. Like, honestly, I mean, my goal was finance. Like, I always thought I was going to go finance.
Right.
But looking back upon it now, I don't think I could have ever lived in the city and lived that life.
Yeah.
So I would have probably stayed in school longer, kept getting more degrees, and like backed my way into something.
What? This is just off the cuff, but what job would you not like to do?
I would not like. Because I've done it. I can I swear on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really,
You already did.
really fucking hate being in a pro shop, like dealing with people who play at a golf course on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say fucking hate, like I mean fucking hate it. So I think that lifestyle would be really bad. And honestly, Jason, anything that's highly customer service where I can't pick the customer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like if we can pick who's in front of us, that's really cool.
That would be awesome if we could pick our students.
Yeah, or at least the best we can. The best we can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. What pisses you off?
Traffic. My mom, when she talks really slow on the phone, when I talk to her every day. What pisses me off at things like this, if we're being candid,
let's do it.
Are people who look. They're here to see certain people, and they will look past you and not talk to you with an effort to see certain people. When I was first starting out and literally knew no one, I got that a lot. And so I try and make sure, like, when I see people here, that I look them in the eye and talk with them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here who will look past you because they want to make a point to speak to someone beyond you. That pisses me off a little bit.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yeah.
Tell us something interesting about you that nobody would know.
David Orr is the best putting coach I've ever spent time with. People probably don't know that one.
Aside from me.
Yeah.
He's like 1A compared to me. Nobody knows.
David said it in one of the videos, but you couldn't hear it because of the audio. But he said, low-key, Eric, don't tell anybody. But you're for sure the best fucking putter I ever worked with in my whole life. I said, David, I get it, man. I'm out there railing 15-footers.
Yeah.
He was impressed. He was impressed by it.
I love it. So what absurd habit or behavior do you love?
I'm going to answer your first one.
Yeah.
Again, because I didn't answer. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
I have a really bad fear of heights, and I really, really, really don't enjoy flying with a passion. Maybe a little claustrophobic. What was that last one again?
What's the absurd habit or behavior that you love?
So we talked a little bit about the fact that, like, I'm anal now.
Yeah.
So I kind of list everything out. I was listening to a guy today, if you didn't, Tom Bailu, Impact Theory. I never say his name right.
I've heard that name.
Dude,
yeah.
you'd fucking love him.
Okay.
He had a guy on there today, and I don't remember his name. It was Brett or Bert or something like that. He's a personal development guy.
Yeah.
I always see him on ads. I was literally watching him today thinking about you, of how he, like, kept track of shit like that.
Yeah.
Absurd habits. Yeah, man, I'm pretty fucking anal. Like,
yeah, you are.
To the point where I have so many. What's something someone else said on that? Like, what's a weird habit? Give me an example. Because I got a lot of them, dude.
Yeah, let me think.
Weird habit.
Just like, like eating a sandwich and like having to take the green stuff off, or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different.
See, here's what's messed up about it.
Weird
like,
things.
I do that with everything.
Yeah.
Like, my whole life is like that. Yeah, dude. I'm very like organized and anal. So across the board.
I'm kind of I'm like a little OCD. I'm like moving my phone around, or like everything has to be straight when you're like dinner and stuff. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. So too many to name.
All right, here's a CT question that he just threw in there. Is if you had one day left, you had one meal left, what would that meal be?
I'm on a big taco kick, which kind of feels like a little bit maybe of a cop-out deal. I'm on a big lasagna fan. I like Italian food.
Okay.
So I also love ice cream. I make sure I don't eat it, but I do eat. So if I had one meal left, I'd have a taco appetizer, small ones, big lasagna plate to the point where I feel full and disgusting. I'd top it off with ice cream, and then I'd have some stomach problems and go to bed.
Oh my God. And then we die.
That would be a tough next morning.
Then we die.
If there was one.
Yeah. So I've got a couple more, and we can
I'll do this all night,
we can
man.
go in any direction you want to go. Definitely talk about some personal development stuff, but
Yeah.
these are just ones that I came up with off the cuff.
These are good.
Describe something that you learned this year that improved your teaching. Like if you can pinpoint one thing, one idea, and then give credit to that person or whatever that program was.
So I spent some time with Steve Saraki, comes from a second tilt background with Mike and Andy. The organization of his thought process when he teaches was a take home for me.
Sure.
The Ben Pelicani when I was in Nashville and some of the drills that he had got from Mike Bender. Have you ever been to Mike Bender's place, by the way?
I have, yeah.
Dude, I was there the other day. It's fucking
It's
incredible.
really good, yeah. I love the wedge range. That's
So
my
good.
favorite part of it.
It's probably the best facility, like the facility I've been to before where I thought, man, like if a golfer spends time here, you can't help but not go. So drills from him. I think that I'm constantly trying to make sure that I'm not too close-minded when I watch a swing or speak to someone. Like I think when I watch someone, what's helped me talking to people like you and going around is like, I always, I think we all do, see a swing and we think one or two or three things, and my mind goes right to that. And probably most of the time it's the right thing.
Yeah.
But I'm really trying to keep my mind open to not be sort of very narrow with my thought process. I find myself then giving lessons and saying or doing the same things a lot, and
Sure.
I question how often that is because that's the best thing for the student or because that's what's kind of top of mind.
It's a great point. Yeah, we sort of fall into our little habit of like how we do a lesson. You know, it's almost not that we're lazy. It's just that's just our human nature, I think, right? So it's like having a fresh perspective, and that's what these things are so good for, is watching and talking. Like I'm staying with 5 other awesome
Dude, you got
teachers,
the dream team,
right? So I've got the condo. That every night, like last night, I'm up till wee hours in the morning talking to Rob Holding, right? One of the greatest coaches, in Canada, and just you're always learning something. We're sitting there looking at our phones, showing each other's our students, and we're talking about stuff. I mean, that's what it's all about. That kind of pushes each of us to get better. And you always come home with sort of a fresh perspective of like, oh, I never thought of it that way, or I've never looked at it quite that way.
I think the other thing too, Jason, for me, especially in this time period where I'm spending a lot of time with other coaches, they end up giving me a makeshift lesson. And
Sure.
so I've been kind of working on pieces. I get into flows during the summer where I don't play often or hit balls or work on things, and I lose perspective of what it's like to be on the other side. And it's really easy for us to give a lesson and make recommendations, but applying them and going through the process of it working, not hitting balls for a little bit, not working, yada yada. I've been more in tune in the past 6 months or so, I'd say, with what it feels like to be a student. And I would say if we make an error when we coach, rarely it's giving too little information, I would say.
Totally agree.
So that's another top of mind thing for me.
Yeah. So what did you listen to in the last week? I know you listen to personal development something every morning.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me about what you saw my post that I put on Instagram that I'm kind of finding all these old programs of Jim Rohn that now are on iTunes, which is so cool.
Gold.
And I just listened to network marketing again, probably for the 1,000th time. But I haven't listened to it in several years. Yeah. And then it starts getting you thinking about little things. So what do you listen to currently now?
Impact Theory, Tom, I butcher his name, but I think it's Tom Bilyeu, something. It's like Bilyeu, his name is. He's a guy from Quest. He started Quest for nutrition bars. I listen to Valuetainment quite often. I have Grant Cardone on a semi-regular basis. If I don't listen to Jim Rohn for like 3 days in a row and I notice it, I will search him up. and listen to the same fucking tapes I listen to like every week because they're that good.
Yeah.
Like I need the constant fucking daily reminder of the basic stuff. So Jim Rohn, I don't do Tony Robbins as much anymore.
So what's your favorite like Jim Rohn quote or like saying?
Dude,
I mean, what? Just let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it like every time I listen to him, I feel it almost like I get emotional thinking about it.
Sure.
It's like so basic and straightforward and simple, and it's an unbelievable feeling that I have that I didn't think that way for 28 years. And
but now that you've found him, like it's so cool. Like we talked about on the last show, is you found him exactly at the same time that I found him.
Exactly.
Which is so weird.
It is.
Right? And it's just, that just the stuff, it's so basic, but like, yeah, and you listen to the stories, like the sower and the Bible story he talks about.
Yes.
Like that's so applicable to everything that you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
They called thorns little cares. Just little cares,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, it's like all this stuff that keeps us from getting better ourselves or helping other people.
Yeah,
is just amazing.
I think Jason, my in my words version of what it is like I'm responsible for everything. Like I can be as good as I can be, right? But I have to be better to do that.
Yeah.
When he fucking said the one time like his guy was saying about being a millionaire and you could give the money away. The important part was becoming the millionaire.
Yeah.
I had to hear that like 3 times till I got that.
What you be. It's not getting to be a millionaire. It's what you become in the process. Right.
Eye-opening to me.
It's kind of like when I was running marathons. It's like the training part is what I really enjoyed. It's almost like after you finish the race, it's almost like a letdown. Right.
And
so it's like if somebody gave you $1 million right now, you would not appreciate it as much as if you built that $1 million.
Absolutely. And the person you are at the end of that is the fucking gold, not the money.
Absolutely.
And you bring up a good point. That's another topic that's an interesting one, I think, is that because I tell you, like, I write these things down, I visualize these things, and you hit them when you do that.
Yeah.
I fucking hit them. And every goal I hit's never as good as I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And then you reset it, and then it's the process. You reset, and it's the process.
Got to have a backup goal.
Yeah, and you got to just keep raising the bar. Like every time I made a certain amount of money I wanted to make, it never felt as good as I thought. What feels really good to me is when I can walk into a place and I, Eric, am literally a different person. Like a couple of years ago, I'd have been too intimidated to sit down at this table and talk with you. That's a real change that happened in my life.
Yes.
Not by accident, right? And that's cool to me because I think there's a lot of people walking around here, Jason, who don't listen to Jim Rohn.
Sure.
And we're in a group that's like pretty good achievers. So, like, if we walked into an elementary school in Orlando randomly, none of those fucking kids know that. No one's telling them that.
No.
Right? That's a powerful conversation, I think.
Yeah, it's like, and he talks about just your story, right? So now we're telling our story.
Yeah.
And hopefully inspiring somebody else to say, for things to change around you, you have to change.
Yeah.
Right? Stop complaining about whatever circumstances you're in or whatever is happening around you. You got to take a look at yourself, right?
What I think is tricky is that so simple people miss it.
Yes.
Jim Rohn is so simple that you miss it.
Yeah.
For things to change around you, you have to change. Like, do you get that? I know you get it, but do you get that? Right? Like, that's such a fucking powerful line to think about.
It really is.
You have to change. I never thought that way, ever, that I needed to become different to get the things that I wanted. That's just a wild adjustment. That's so effective.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you, like, I've got multiple examples of, like, how I've applied. I'm like, I literally built speeches around some of his talks. But it's not even, so people used to ask me when it's insane, like you are, why I listen to 30 minutes or an hour a day in the car to this guy. And I'm like, bread for the head, right? So it's like, why not put something in your head daily that's going to push you in a certain direction? You may not you don't have to get it all.
Yep.
Right? It's just a matter of, do you get something that's going to move you in the direction that you want to go and make things better for yourself? But it's, public speaking. Like when I listen to those programs, it's not just the information. It's like, pay attention to the delivery. He's a master speaker, right? So it's the pauses, it's the little jokes, it's the stories. That's what's changed me more, because I was, like you just said, I would never have talked to you right now. Like, I was the most backward, shy kid when I was coming out of high school or, early 20s, I never, my biggest fear was getting up in front of somebody and having to talk, right?
Yep.
I mean, every golf lesson we give now is a presentation, in my opinion, right? So it's in growing up in a golf school environment, that obviously helped. Basically, you're sink or swim.
Yep.
Or you're going to suck. But I went to work on that skill because I knew if I wanted to get to this goal of being a top teacher, there's going to be situations where I've got to talk or I'm going to present, right? Now I love it.
When you would, I don't mean to.
No, go ahead.
When you would do the time in the car, you did that. Then would do that several days a week for months and months and years and years and years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It was. I mean, I think it was at least 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I listened to something for at least an hour, and then it bled into when I got home. And then it bled into me writing stuff down in a journal, right? So I started writing stuff down because that's the way I remembered it. Mm-hmm. And then it led to all right, I'm going to give this mental talk for my golf school.
Yep.
And I literally would go okay, this is kind of how I could turn that speech into golf specific stuff. And then you just go and then I'm practicing in the mirror. I'm doing stuff that he tells you in network marketing. He's like, if you'd have heard my first speech, he's like, I would have walked out.
He stood up and his brain sat down.
Yeah. I stood up and my brain sat down.
Yeah.
He's like, but you know what? I did it again.
Mm-hmm.
I did it again, and I did it again. That's the secret.
That's the secret to fucking everything.
Showing up.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's so simple you miss it. And then when you listen to those things every single day for 3 years, you become a different person, and you can't even help it.
Right.
You see things different. You're aware of things different.
Yeah. You treat people around you differently.
100%.
Right. And then we're in the relationship business, right? So it's if you're not treating your coworkers well, you're not going to treat your clients well. You're not going to treat your family well. It's a big sort of social wave of, continuous momentum.
And if you have I love the car example. I mean, if you have a half hour in the car and you had personal development or you had music, or you had personal development and you had news, right? Which got to be the worst thing of all time.
Right.
Imagine 30 minutes of news a day for 3 years versus 30 minutes of personal development a day for 3 years.
Oh, I want to kill myself.
It's just such a drastically different lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm finding interesting as I'm visioning myself getting into the personal development is the stuff we're talking about, and I said it 4 times already, is it's perceived, just like golf sometimes, it's perceived as too easy where people don't see how big of an impact it can be.
100%.
It's the golf swing thing. I have guys that come in all the time where they have 17 swing issues and they all have them because their face is too open. And I say, well, we need to fix your club face before anything else. And that it seems too simple, but it's not. And this stuff is the same way.
It's the how, right? I mean, how do you put that plan?
Yeah.
Get a plan. How do you put it into action?
Yep.
It's not just having the information, which is exactly what you're talking about.
And I think it's got to be a mindset.
100%.
Hey, I'm going to do, when I'm doing a swing change, hey, I'm going to do this for 12 months. If every person came in to you and said, Jason, I got 12 months to do this. Fucking cupcake, dude.
It changes the coach's perspective, and that's why I do the unlimited stuff, because I feel like I can take my time, because it's hey, we got this amount of time. I can promise you this is where we're going to get.
Exactly.
If we start with this first step.
Who are the guys that you don't get better when you teach them? What are some of their tendencies?
When they don't get better?
Yeah,
they don't go practice afterwards, or they don't believe that the change was necessary because it didn't work immediately. So they don't have the patience. Go with Gary V, right?
Yeah. Dude, done.
Gary Vaynerchuk, it's just patience.
Difficult to employ, Every golfer I look at who has not gotten better that I work with has those similar traits.
Yes.
They expect very quick. It needs to be in line with what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Any golfer I've had who's gotten better has had some element of, I understand it's going to take some time. I'm willing to put in the work on it. And it's such an interesting thing to put yourself 12 months ahead where you're like, dude, if it's January 2021, this swing thing you have an issue with, right? You've got a driver issue. You need to build a driver pattern. You need to ball a curve one way and fucking not hit a ball OB.
Right.
What if 1 year from now we could do that? Would you be happy or not? You'd say yes.
100%.
And then you frame the conversation from there. Okay, great. Here's what this is going to look like. If it's, I'm hooking the ball left, I can't stand it, let's fix it now, and you start going and fixing, that conversation relationship is done. Is done.
One of the sayings that I always tell my mini tour guys and really my good players, you can apply it to anybody, is don't let better get in the way of best. Right? So think about that's exactly what you're talking about. It's because if you can get, our goal is to get 1% better every time that we see each other, or every week, or however you got to take it in little small chunks.
Yeah.
If not, again, you get frustrated because you're seeing the end goal. I want to get a 5 handicap, and I'm a 15. Well, we got to get to a 14 first before we can get to a 5.
I like that a lot.
So I try to get, and that kind of gives you that mindset of patience.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. Anything that is worth doing is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to suck.
Well, and you know what? I'm trying to blow holes into my whole, I told you those 6 things I do every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick holes into how it wouldn't work for someone else when they do it. Because everything we just talked about, I can fix with the fact that I visualize myself 3 years from now every morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can I not have patience if I'm visualizing myself 3 years from now? I just think that's so big.
Yeah.
If you're constantly what does Jason's life look like in 12 months or 24, 36? You think about that every day?
Yes.
Our lesson of fixing your driver in 1 year is really easy. Because you're thinking 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you're saying think more broad, think more long term.
I think 3 years specifically.
Yeah.
There's I think.
Okay.
Yeah. If someone, I think it's an actionable. How do I start doing this shit? If you were to spend, now I think every day, but visualize yourself 3 years from now. And I think the art or skill of that is actually feeling it and learning how to do that, not just think it. In the beginning, I would think it, but I wouldn't feel it.
I love that you're talking about you can visualize your beach house. You can smell the surf. You can You can see the scenery.
That's when shit starts to change for me, at least. Where when I my thing in the mornings now is I see myself on stage speaking, and I feel it to the point where I'm nervous.
You ever seen the movie Charlie Bartlett?
No.
He's
good one.
Yeah, well, he kind of at the beginning he's standing up, going, "Hi, I'm Charlie Bartlett.
Yeah,
welcome to whatever."
It's gonna be me soon.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Yeah. So what are you gonna say when you get up there, and who are you talking to?
Well, right now, my whole thing is about my routines, my daily routines, and I think they can help it. So I'm trying to pick holes in them and figure out how they can work. But I think my main objective at this point I see would be for me to help other people who are looking to improve in whatever category.
Yeah.
Not convince people they should improve, but people who are already looking for it, strategies that I have tried and true. But there's a difference between me thinking that and writing it down and being in the moment to the point where I see my mom in the front stands. I feel the people clap when I'm done. I feel me nervous. I see Grant Cardone hand me a microphone when I'm walking. I mean, this is the kind of shit I see.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to come true or not.
Well, it's like Tony Robbins always talks about, you have to attach an emotion to it, right? Yeah. And that makes it more real. Or he's all about that physical state, changing your physical state. I mean, again, you look at his stuff and you're thinking, oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. But it's how do you really do it, right? How do you do the shit? I found that stuff to be true for me. I really have. I found a lot of what he talked about that I first listened to that sounded cool to really be true and work. Yeah. But it's anything else. I mean, dude, it's because I fucking work it. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
And there's some mornings I go and I do my visualization and my visualization's not good. Yeah. It sucks.
You're going to have that.
Yeah, but I do it the next day. It's the day after day, dude. If we had I think you asked me that billboard thing, which is haunting me. What the right answer should be on that thing.
You want to change your answer?
Thinking about that,
that's on the rapid fire list. I didn't ask you because you've been on the show before.
That's so good.
You're welcome to do a different answer.
It's so good. You want to grab Como while he's standing up here?
I've already got him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to keep you on here forever.
I'm good.
But
no, we're dude.
Yeah. Dude, it's the day after day thing like that. If I had that billboard back up, it'd be there's so much shit that I do every day that doesn't go how I want it to or think. I was going to post something the other day, but I wasn't quite sure how to word it, and then I didn't do it.
So what do you tell yourself when that happens? Is there what's the self-talk?
I breathe.
Okay.
I breathe always. Breathing's my go-to always.
Okay.
In and out of my stomach. And I sit in the discomfort. Tom, the guy who I can't pronounce his last name in Impact Theory, you read some of these things that stick with you and hit you. He said, sitting in discomfort was something that changed his life. Learning to sit in discomfort.
Interesting.
And so I, for 28 years, would not sit in discomfort. I would feel discomfort and I would run and flee the other way in every scenario possible. So like when I walked in here to come in here tonight, I was a little like anxious. I was a little like people talking, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's, to me, sitting in that discomfort. And that for me starts with breathing, always. That's my actionable. Breathe in, breathe out of my stomach a couple times. If I need to talk to myself about, like, what am I doing here? Like, what's my objective? What's the point here?
Yeah.
And then keep in mind on that piece of paper, I read every day, embrace fear, build discipline. And so I think there's part of it that's just like, I go for it now because I just am machined into it.
Yeah. So I remember back in the day when I was working for Dana Rader, one of my mentors, she used to bring me to the top 100 party.
Yeah.
They don't have them anymore. Now that I'm a top 100, they went away with it, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
But it was a big deal for me because she saw something in me, and she knew my goals of like wanting to be a top teacher. So I always had like a list of like questions for legends like Jim McClain or Butch Harmon or some of these guys that I always looked up to, Martin Hall, and I had some really powerful moments in those. Do you have a list of like people you would like to meet here at the show and like ask them a question?
I would love to meet Butch Harmon to find out the characteristics and some of the little things of the people around him. Not his like swing techniques he taught, but just the habits of the people around him.
Sure.
I would love to meet with David Ledbetter. So these big shockers here, the main guys.
No, sorry.
I would love to meet with. I'd like to spend more time with Rob Holding.
I was just with him last night.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
He's a cool cat.
Oh, really cool.
He's a cool dude. I would really like to enjoy spending a weekend with you, honestly, and I'm not just saying that to be here.
Thank you.
I would like to spend some time with Chris Como. And then I think in terms of the golf industry, am I forgetting anyone here like this?
There's so many.
I spent some time with Mike Malaska today. You ever spent time with him?
I have, yes.
Cool guy.
Yeah, very cool.
He was very nice. Nick is, I don't know about spending time with him, but
Nick Chertok.
Yeah, Mike Malaska probably would be a cool dude. Sean Foley, I think, would be cool.
Sean is super cool.
Yeah,
I've spent some time with him. He's great. He's been on the podcast, one of the most popular episodes.
Yeah,
he's
like an interesting guy.
Really interesting. Yeah.
What about you? Like, who would be the people you'd want to?
Chuck Cook, I want to spend more time with. He's sort of like a guy that I sort of look up to as far as like I love the way his career as he's getting older. Like he continues to like be cutting edge with technology and keeping up with the latest. Because he's done everything, right? I mean, when you get to that part in your career, I think it's really easy to kind of cruise a little bit, And I kind of feel, and that's funny. And we can talk about this. Obviously, I'm older than you are, but I'm sort of at that little bit of a crossroads, I think, in my career, which I've accomplished probably more than I ever dreamed I would.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of, and that's why your episode really inspired me to sort of dig deep and say, let's get back to doing things that made you successful.
Yeah.
And so now I'm really kind of motivated to kind of go, all right, now let's take it to another level.
Yeah.
Which is difficult to do. And it's kind of like finishing the marathon. You finish and you're like, all right, that's awesome. That's a big accomplishment. All right, now what do I do now? Well, you sign up for another race.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm signing up for another race in 2020.
Yeah.
To like take it to another level.
See, I look at someone like you, Jason. I think it's interesting. I think starting the race and then what you do after the race are the two most difficult parts.
Yes.
And you're at a pinnacle, right? If you look at what you have done and accomplished in the golf industry, is really fucking impressive. You are in a very small group of people. But, right, I would look at that and be like, well, what's different between Jason Sutton and Chuck Cook and Butch Harmon and whatever?
Yeah.
Do I think Jason could reach levels in golf success-wise as those guys? And I think the answer is yes. And I would look and say, well, what happened with Chuck Cook? Like, what did Butch Harmon do? These guys that I want to spend time with, like, what are they different than Jason? I don't fucking think they're any different than Jason. I think they may be one person walks onto your tee at the right time.
Right, get a tour player, and that's it. Yeah, and I mean, not that that's everything, but it's kind of like that's sort of, I want to experiment with that.
Yeah.
Be on tour a little bit.
Absolutely.
The tour players want to come, because I know I've got the talent
100%
to do it, and just as good as those guys, I just got to get out there. But yeah, and that's not everything. Like if I don't teach a tour player, I'm not teaching at the Masters. Some of these goals that I've set for myself, I'm not going to be career disappointment.
Right.
It's just things that I want to do.
Yeah.
right? But I mean, thank you for that. That's, I mean,
I think it's like, dude, what's achievable? Like, what would the best Jason ever look like in 30 years from now? I think that could be fucking unbelievable. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable.
I hope so.
But it's like your willingness to do the little things now over the. And I'm saying this not towards you, but whoever's listening. The willingness to do like those little things all over again. Like Belichick and all those guys are great at that age because he's still in the fucking film room like he was when he was 20.
Yes. There you go.
Tom Brady, Roger Federer, Tiger Woods, right? It's not. You hear Dustin Johnson the other day. I wanted to put this clip up. It was so perfect. They were asking him how much longer he wanted to play golf when he wanted to retire. He's like, well, if I play like this until I think he said 40 or something, 10 years, and I play pretty good, I'll retire at that age. And I thought, my God, that's a perfect clip to show kids.
Yeah.
No, I don't know Dustin Johnson personally.
Yeah.
But why a guy like that hasn't won, in my opinion, or reached a level that he had potential versus, and Rory, when Rory came out and said whatever, versus Tiger, versus Kobe Bryant type of guy, right?
Yeah.
And there's just no getting around that. There could be a Jason who's got a killer mindset and is the #1 golf teacher in the world in 20 years, or there could be Jason doing the same thing as today in 20 years.
There you go.
And it's mostly what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah, the choice. The choice is yours, like you said.
I think that's so cool that you have in your palm to be able to do that.
Yeah, right.
You know?
God, I mean, God's provided me with a lot.
And you took advantage of it.
Well, and that's, again, it's like how much you're going to lay on that or how much you're going to lay on, okay, I actually took action to do something to change my career path or change my life or whatever. Yeah.
So. And it's like, what are you like #1 or 2 in North Carolina?
I was 1 and then I guess got bumped to 4 in Golf Digest for whatever reason.
But right up there, 1 or 2, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, and not that the Golf Digest is the only thing in the world. But
I mean, I want to be in the top 50 I haven't cracked yet. So that's my next sort of stretch, whatever. Yep. But again, and I talk to my students all the time, it's like having process goals are good, but then you got to have those goals that are going to be actionable items that are going to get you there, the little things, right? So it's not about, I'm sorry, result goals. That's that process goals. Result goals, and then you got to have the process goals of like, all right, you got to hit more greens in regulation, or you got to putt better, whatever. So to get to that goal. Do
you think you could get top 50 within 3 years, like 3 years from today?
I do.
I do too. What do you think you need to do that?
I think I need a tour player.
Yeah.
I think, and does that make the teacher? Probably not, but I think it's recognition.
100%.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure that I'm sort of missing on my resume.
Yep.
Done pretty much everything else.
One unbelievable guy on your range away from something like that.
That's right.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's good shit. Because
awesome,
dude, there's a lot of people in this room, and I don't know a lot of these people, so it's no offense to any of them.
So let's look and see who's walking through here as we're talking.
There's Richard Franklin. Do you know Richard Franklin?
Yep, I know he's presenting tonight.
He's a good dude.
So there's a lot. Like you're looking at my buddy Kevin Britt right there.
Okay.
One of the most unknown great teachers.
I don't know Kevin. I'll have to meet him.
Spartanburg. Yep, definitely. You want to meet him. Good buddy of mine.
There's Mark Sheftick over there on the left.
This guy works for me.
Okay.
Right here in front of me.
Yeah. He's the one that wanted to get you a drink there earlier?
Yeah, he's my junior golf development, junior golf leader guy. Awesome young coach coming up. And then who else we got?
There's Sheftick walking out, double fisting like normal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. He's here to party.
Yeah.
No, I just think
a little bit of a break.
I think it's just, you look around and like things like this too are inspiring of depending upon what your objectives are of, there's a lot of people in here who are like-minded, want to be the best or want to be, really good in here. And, what are you and I going to do to separate? And I think that competitive part of it is good. I think that shouldn't be frowned upon. I think it should be good.
100%.
I think you should be trying to do more than me, and I think I should be trying to do more than you. And I think we're both raised up at the end of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that everyone in here thinks that same way, but I think it'd be better for us if they all did.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a little bit of that.
Yeah, I hate to. I took you so far off the rapid fire, dude.
Dude, that's great. No, this is what I want. These are the hallway talks.
Yeah, love it.
Right, this is what we'd be doing, having a beer and just like kicking it and saying, hey, what's up? Yeah, so I appreciate you coming back on.
Thanks, dude. This is fun. Thank you, man.
We'll spend more time together.
It's good shit.
What's up, everybody? Guru back here again with a couple of things before you go. First, big thank you to Eric for stopping by the podcast booth there at Open Forum and coming on the show once again. Just really interested to work with this guy and a lot of fun catching up. and talking a little bit more about teaching in life that I know will help all of you coaches out there. Make sure you follow Eric on the gram at Eric Cogorno and on Twitter, and then give him a social wave and say thank you. Also check out his YouTube channel, his site cogornogolf.com as his site, and then Cogorno Golf for his YouTube channel. Thanks once again for our sponsors, enviedhemp.com, and make sure you use the promo code GURU20 for a 20% discount. Also, shout out to our newest partner, Body Track Golf, the pressure mat that I use on a day-to-day basis. So make sure you go hit them up and get you one of those. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Golf Guru TV, and then go download my app at the App Store, Golf Guru app, and we've had a huge price break, so you can get this awesome information and teaching and coaching information for you players and coaches at less than $20 a month. So go check that out. If you have a question or a comment for the show, don't be afraid to shoot me a DM or just shoot me up on an email, golfgurushow@gmail.com. This show and all episodes of the Golf Guru Show are produced by myself, Jason Sutton. Music is by Kevin MacLeod and Zach Mullett. And as I always leave you with the infamous Jim Rohn quote that I live by: study, practice, teach, and then pass it on. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for listening.